I hope I find you all well this morning. I will start off with a statement. Basically, I've been stressed out lately. I know I have been. For many different reasons, some of which are public, some are not. All right? There's been stuff going on in my life, both here on the streams that you're well aware of, because I've made you well aware of it, as well as stuff going on in my private life, and it stressed me out recently, everything combined at once. It's like we've been talking about recently. When it rains, it pours. It's not just, here's a few things that happen over time, so they're easy to handle. No, instead it just has to be everything, all at once, right thrown in your face, and somehow you're supposed to juggle all of it and deal with all of it all at the same time, right? And honestly, one of the reasons why this month I decided against going forward with the documentary about myself, that's one of the major reasons, is already I've got so much going on, so much on my plate, that I didn't see how realistically I was going to be able to handle all of that stuff, plus take on all of the added burden of trying to properly do this documentary, which, let's be honest, had to have been done properly, because if it wasn't, that was not just going to only, affect me, but you, the viewers, as well. I realize that we are a community, all right? And basically we're in a situation where anything that happens on these streams can affect anyone in this community, right? So I get that, and I'm learning, and I'm a human who gets really stressed out sometimes. And so I just want to start off today apologizing for any stress that I may have relayed onto you in the last week. That's on me for being nervous, for being, like I said, at my wit's end for various different reasons. And again, it's not all stuff that we've talked about on stream. There's other stuff going on as well. In life, for me anyway, the thing that ultimately makes me feel the worst is when something is going wrong and I have absolutely nothing I can do about it, right? There's one thing if stuff's, happening around you, like, all right, let's take action, right? Let's fix this, let's fix this, let's do this, let's do this, let's adjust on the fly and fix things and make them better. But sometimes in life, and especially as you get older, you will realize this more and more, as is my experience. There are things that are inevitable. There are things that are destined to happen that you can't stop, all right? And when they happen, it sucks. And it's one thing if it's one thing happening, but when you have a series of events that continue over the course of for me, it's been like now about a year and a half, and the stress levels just keep becoming exponentially more and more and more and more, it wears you down, And for a while there, I feel like I was actually doing real good. Like, I feel like over the second half of 2023 and into this new year, like, there was good positivity and momentum. Admittedly, early on last year, there was a lot of stress because of bad decisions that I made. But I feel like I adjusted that. And then with the release of something like Street Fighter 6, which reinvigorated my efforts to want to play games competitively and getting a new crowd of viewership back and continuing on with all these different projects and things I've been doing along the year and adjusting, I felt like everything was going smoothly for as much as could be done. You know what I'm saying? And then, then things all happen at once and everything explodes and everything hits the fan. And it's like, now what do you do to fix it? Oh, you just can't. There's nothing you can do. Oh, that's great, because, it's only my life. It's not like this is a video game. It's like, oh, shit, I'm playing and things are really going bad this run. That's okay. I'll just respawn with my next life. Oops. Oh, this is real life. There's no respawning of a next life, right? You just have to deal with what's going on and somehow make do. And that's kind of what's been going on with me recently, because some people have even said, they've come by streams and said, you seem like you're stressed again. It seems like you're at wit's end and you're angry and you're snapping and stuff like that. And the truth is that I'm in a unique situation where I'm put under a microscope constantly, and unfortunately I'm not allowed to say and do things that other people can do, right? Like, any other person can make an observation about something and be like, hey, that's kind of like me. I see myself in that. That's pretty crazy. It's like fourth wall breaking. I'm playing a game and I see a connection to my real life. And most people can say that and that's fine. But if I say that, you have 20,000 jackasses who then spin it into something like, oh, he's egotistical, he's this, he's that. What are you talking about? It's a simple factual observation that any human should be able to make, but I'm not allowed to make it because I'm the devil, right? I'm the villain. So I can't just do normal stuff. I'm not allowed, right? You know, just like everyone else who says dumb stuff like, oh, the reason why you're so stressed out is because you put all of the effort of your business on the fact that it's a crowdfunded business, right? And if you diversified out and you did more than just crowdfunding and you found sponsorships and things like that, you know, you'd be fine, which is completely false. You know, I can't get sponsorships because of these people who ruin everything for me. There's a reason why I'm not in the Twitch partner program, and it's not me, okay? There's a reason why Teespring dropped me from their merch store after having me in there for over 5 years and setting me up themselves, knowing well who I was, okay? I don't have or get the opportunities everybody else does because I'm in a unique situation. I think Mike Klum actually said it best, all right? He literally said to me, in my early research about you, to figure out who you were and everything, as I started to look deeper into things, I realized that you have likely one of the biggest troll communities on the internet. Bigger than other people who he's dealt with. Much bigger. Which is hilarious because you see some of the other stories and things. It's like, oh, woe is me, woe is me. Yeah, but you don't even have half the fucking hardships, you know, of other people. Woe is you, right? So, basically with me, all right, there's just so much going on. There's really no ways to fix the problems that are happening. And what ends up happening is that all that gets pent up inside of me, and it affects me in a bad way. And then I go back to my old ways, and I do things that are stupid, and I bother you guys with things every stream that I shouldn't bother you with. And it is what it is, right? So, there's not much you can do about that besides recover from it and learn from it and try to regroup and try not to make the same mistakes for the 27th time, right? So, today is going to be a chill day, all right? Today is going to be a completely chill day, all right? It's just going to be me relaxing with you guys, enjoying some laid-back games. Not even a fighting game, which is a good thing. You know, I like Tekken a lot. Right now, I think it's a superb fighting game, and I'm having a ton of fun learning the game and getting better at it. But it's a stressful game. When you're playing a fighting game like that, that's like adrenaline pumping, nerves on edge, and you need your nerves on edge. That's the thing. You need to be able to react and do things, and you know, constantly a million things going through your head at once, right? So, and by the way, I don't know why Neckbeard Reviews is typing paragraphs in the chat. There's no way I can read them. I'm doing a show. You gotta love it. People are like just typing their heart out in the chat. Like, you see I'm talking to the camera, right? Like, I can't read what you're saying. Anyway. So, I apologize for any stress that I caused this week. Please know that it wasn't intentional. It was because of all the other things going on in my life at this point. And it sucks that, you know, things are just happening all at once. It's a perfect storm of crap, and I got to deal with it, and I got to get through it. And the thing is, you know I'll get through it. You know, I have been through this kind of stuff before. I've gotten through it before. It's not the end of the world. At the same time, it's just incredibly stressful that this is the millionth time that stuff happens that's not in my control. And again, I'm powerless to do anything about it. And that's what drives me nuts the most, you know. Because as much as I would like to say, I know what I'll do. I'll adjust all my content and I'll try to make it better per feedback, which I've done. New thumbnails, new titling system for my videos, right? Bringing back content that's been lost from the internet for years and making a whole channel to make that presentable to you in a modern format, which you've wanted, right? keeping shows alive that very well could have died because of trolling activity, but still able to keep them alive because of the help of you guys and on-the-fly thinking. I'm doing my best to juggle all of this and maintain sanity. You know, it's a lot on my plate because it's not just that. If that was just what I was doing in my life right now, if that was it, that would be enough. But the fact that outside of this office, I've got a private life and I've got other things going on that you guys are not aware of at all. Multiple other things happening that I'm juggling there, and it's incredibly stressful, you know, and it sucks. So it is what it is. You know, I got to get through it. And I want to, again, let you know that if I'm on a stream and I seem overly stressed, right, it's probably a combination of a million factors. It's not just what's going on in that moment, right? But you have to understand that, sadly, there's just people out there that are out to get me for no good reason. Like, it's not because I've hurt them. It's not because I've done heinous acts on the internet. It's because the internet has attached themselves to my ass as a giant pulsating, infected hemorrhoid. And it's about to burst. And they just stay there, and it won't go away because they found that they get pleasure or money or popularity by literally hurting me. And so I have to deal with that on a daily basis. Imagine that there's a group of people out there that are all anonymous, but they can get away with just twisting the knife further into you. And every day that they do it, they get something pleasurable out of it, and you get hurt, and you can't stop them. There's nothing you can do about that, right? It's pretty bad. And there's not much I can do about it, all right? So it's life, and I want to get better, meaning I want to not be putting that towards you guys, you know, if I can avoid it. So it's this simple. You're not going to hear it, you know, from me. I'm just going to move forward positively. I'm just going to relax with you guys on streams. We're going to enjoy games. We're going to have fun discussions. I'm not going to be bringing up the stressful bullshit. There's no point. Because, again, you know, as much as I've tried to affect the situation in some way, none of my efforts have helped. Like, nothing. Literally nothing that I've said, that I've done, that I felt has helped. So why am I going to sit here and why am I going to be so pent up, angry about it, right? When it's time to basically just let it go and be more reserved, and whatever happens, happens. Right? I think that's the better way to think about it, is sometimes in life there's things you cannot control, and you just got to let go, rather than be so angry about a situation or so try to be control freak about it. Sometimes you just can't fix it. So let it ride and see what happens. In life, generally, in my life, when stuff like this has happened and I just let it go, well, not really just let it go, but over time, things just get better. So I'm just going to let it go and hopefully things get better. Rather than sit here and harp on shit all day, every day. There's no point. All right? So I've said my piece. I apologize for being so stressed this last week. You know, to anyone who felt like I wasn't myself or you're offended or something, well, you know, I'm a human and I make mistakes. And I'll continue to make those mistakes, you know. All I can do is finally acknowledge when I make said mistakes. And say I'll move on from focusing on that stuff every single day, right? You guys don't want to come to a stream every day to hear about my income. You guys don't want to come to the stream every day to hear about this problem or that problem with memberships and shit. You don't care. You're just here to have fun with me, right? And to have a good time with whatever gameplay that I'm doing. And I'm grateful to those who come by every day regardless, right? To hang out with me and have a good time. Like, that's what you're here for, right? As I've said many times over the years, you are here to unplug from your own lives and hopefully have some good time with me and forget about your own stresses, correct? That's really what you're here for, ultimately, right? When you unplug, you don't want to then go to someone's stream and hear about more stressful bullshit, right? So, I mean, initially, with this whole thing, I think, of course, as they say, hindsight is 20/20. Initially, what I probably should have done, which I wouldn't have known this because the first time I've gone through something like this, is just mention the problem say it exists. If it further affects things, I'll let you know, and here's how we fix it. Then we fix it. So, for example, I fixed the problem when it came to the React channel, right? The problem has been resolved, and we just did a React show on Sunday that went down without a hitch, correct? So, rather than focusing on it and talking about it endlessly, that's it. All right, I mentioned it. We fixed it. That's it. Move on, right? And that's really what, I should have done, rather than just constantly talking about it. Constantly asking for more of this and that and getting everyone all riled up about bullshit, and then people coming here on the streams and getting all frustrated because why is Phil in this mood every day now? Why is Phil stressed out and this and that? You know what I mean? Yeah. So, like I said, today I'm not going to be talking about any of that stuff. I just want to hang out with you guys. I want things to get back to normal here. All right. And more relaxing times. All right, enough of you two idiots. Get the fuck out of the chat. Seriously, these two idiots just got to sit there. Blah, blah, blah. Shut up. I'm trying to tell you I want to relax. All right? I just want to relax and have a good time. Oh, let's in the chat, let's try to rile Phil up. No, you're not going to do that today. You're gone. Thanks. So,